Hey everybody, I'm back, and I wanted to check out this really cool game, The Quest for the Rings for the Odyssey 2. It's actually one of my favorite games. Look at the artwork, for example. This was a lot more than just a video game. This kind of broke new grounds when it came out. It had a video game component, it had a board game component. It was multiplayer, so you really needed to play it with two players. I mean, you can play it with one player, but it's a little weird. Pretty much the goal was there were rings that were scattered throughout the land, and you had to go collect them. So it kind of has like a Lord of the Rings feel, because they're rings of power, and there are, I think, 10 of them, and they're scattered all over the place, and there are similarities there. And check this out. If you open it up, this actually has never been opened before. I wanted to mention that this is new old stock. So I have never opened this before. I took the plastic off because it was grungy, but this is the first time it's ever seen the light of day since it came out. Look at this cartridge. It's still so shiny and brand new looking. And when I opened it, like the insides it smelled like brand new, if that makes sense. It still smells new. Look at that, it's so reflective. I actually have a used copy of this and it just looks terrible. Most of these did not survive, and if they did, I mean in full, like the boxes and everything. And if they did, they just look terrible. Look at that castle, it's all embossed and it just looks beautiful with the reflective gold. They just don't make things like this anymore. Not as standard, at least. Here are some coins that went along with the board game component of the Quest for the Rings. Pretty nice looking. They don't feel cheap. It's pretty hefty plastic. And here's some, I think they're pewter coins that came with them, and they're really detailed. They're also, super embossed and just look beautiful. They're very heavy, and I don't want to take them out of the bag, even though I totally know I should. I just really don't want to. Man, they're so cool. Like, I can't believe it. I love it when I get to open this stuff for the first time, because these things are meant to be enjoyed. I'm a collector. I'm never going to sell this. So, and there are plenty of used grungy copies out there anyway if somebody wants to buy one, and they don't really go for a lot of money anyway. Check that out there, and super reflective still. The paint would have been all scratched off of that if it had been opened and survived. I got this when I got my Odyssey 2 at an estate sale, and it's just been sitting here and I've been wanting to open it so badly. Anyway, let's take that insert out. Look at this amazing instruction book. This is the entire instruction manual, and it's got a little bit of a prologue in there so you can kind of understand what the story is about. And look at that dragon. I love 70s and 80s artwork, like for fantasy stuff. Fantasy and sci-fi artwork from that era is just amazing. We're going to set this to the side, and we're going to go through it in a minute, but let's finish seeing what's in the box. Here is another component to the board game part of Quest for the Rings. Still brand new and super shiny looking. Look at that. It looks brand new. I can't believe it. Oh, I always get such a kick out of this when I get something that's new like this. And, I've done this before where I've opened it, as an episode of Retro Tech Toys, and I like to do that because I feel like there are plenty of other people that like to see what this would have looked like when it was brand new. Now, here's the board game itself. On the actual board. The board's nice and stiff, just like, it would have been, 30-something years ago when it came out. Look at that. It's just perfectly shiny and just looks amazing. Look at that. All that detail. I actually really enjoy fantasy stories and video games and role-playing stuff, and this is great to me. Check that out. There it is in full. And it just looks so beautiful. I love this kind of stuff. Anyway, let's get this all situated here. I want to take that book out and actually go through it. and see see what's inside. Thought that'd be really cool if we could just flip through it, because it's never been opened, it's never been flipped through before. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? I think we shall. Here we go. Oh, so pretty. You are about to become a legend in your own time and enter an alternate world where dreams and nightmares come true with fire-breathing reality. Special microcomputer circuitry will generate the alternate time frequencies and dimension warps necessary for finite control and monitoring of your alter presence via television, while you remain physically secure in your relatively safety of your home dimension. Now that is awesome. I'm ready to warp into an alternate dimension. The ring, full circle, bends its beginnings to its ends. I don't know if it's true or not, but I actually read something that this was supposed to have something to do with Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings, but they ended up not going with it. I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm happy to be corrected on that. But there's the prologue. I'm not going to read the whole thing right here, but there's a bit of a story that you get when you get into the book. Flipping through here, we've got some gorgeous artwork. I love fantasy artwork. There's the fire-breathing dragons and the knights and the wizards. It's like my favorite thing in the world. It's just pure, cheesy, beautiful, epic fantasy. Some more great artwork, related to the video game itself. Here are some of the monsters and some of the little representations of them inside of the video game itself, and it tells you about them. You get even more artwork where it talks about the quest and what you actually have to accomplish. Let's flip over here in a second and we'll see. I think it's going to show us some of the dungeons, the artist representations and how they look in the game. Yeah, here are this is the Inferno, what it looks like in the game, and the artist rendition. There's the shifting halls, and this is the Crystal Caverns. That's really cool. And just, could you imagine, 30-something years ago, just having this open on the coffee table while you were playing it, and you had the artist representation in front of you, and the board game pieces in front of you and all that, and then it was on your TV, and you were playing it with your friends, or maybe your brother or sister, or your mom or dad or something. Here's some more artwork and stuff showing you the controls. There's this wizard dude right there. He's super cool. Oh, that's the mirror cloak of invisibility. There's some more things, some more representations of the dungeon and the gameplay. And, oops, I accidentally flipped to the back of the book. Let's just go back a little bit. This talks about the different game pieces and how you're supposed to use them. Here are the actual components of the game: the cartridge, the keyboard overlay, the game board map, and then all the little tokens and such. Kind of describes what they are and what they're supposed to do. Yeah, this is so cool. And it just looks so fresh and so new. And as soon as I'm done going over this, man, I'm putting it back up. Here's the game rules. It kind of tells you how you're supposed to play, and this tells you about the 2-player version and how you can do 1- and 2-player practice sessions. And that's about it for the book. And then, ooh, look, it's got a crease in it already. It's never been opened, and there's a crease in it. There you go, the magic of the rings. Kind of a little bit of a thing there, and then that's it. It's over. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to get this put back up in its box, and it's probably not getting opened again because I don't want it to get messed up. And this is like a real treasure for me, and I'm never ever getting rid of this. This is displayed prominently in my collection just because it's so beautiful and it's so representative of things that I love. Alright, let's get this little insert put back in with the cartridge, and things never seem to go back in how they were once you've taken them out, do they? Well, that's okay. That's pretty close. And this has been an unboxing of a brand new old stock The Quest for the Rings for Odyssey 2. Here's the back of the box really quick if you were curious. And this is about all I have for the day. I'll be back with some new really cool stuff. I've got a lot of stuff planned. So like and subscribe and be ready for some new cool videos. And if you have any suggestions for future videos or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments. And man, I had a lot of fun with this one. I really appreciate all of you. And you know what? Isn't that music that I used for this super, super appropriate? Because I think it is. But anyway, that's all I've got here. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. Until next time, thank you very much for watching Retro Tech Toys. And I'll see you next time.